Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how you can make a money system. This money system will have a global leaderboard as well as 3 statues showing the top 3 people on the leaderboard. Obviously you do not have to use this as a money system, you could use it as points or something else for your game, whether that be a simulator or whatever other type of game it is. Okay. So the first thing you need to do is you need to build your leaderboard. So I'm just going to make myself a very simple leaderboard. I'm going, not a script, I'm going to put a folder into workspace. Oh, by the way, the download file for this will be in my Discord server. There's an invite link in the description of this video. So I'm just going to grab ourselves a part just like this. Make it a little bit bigger just like that. I'm not going to go too over the board, I'll just keep it nice and simple for the tutorial. Obviously feel free to make it look a little bit snazzier than the plain part. So you want to put a surface GUI inside of the part, and then I'm going to get a text label, and we shall set the size to a 1,0, which will push it the whole way across, and then we'll do a 0.5,0. Oh whoops, which just circles it out, and then maybe like a about that. And then we'll scale it, transparency of 1, we'll set the font to a Gotham black, and we'll say global money leaderboard. Okay, so the next thing is going to be a frame, and a frame just like that. And if we look here, this was a 1.5, so that's right here needs to be 1,0,1 0.95,0, just like that. And then we can set this y coordinate to 0.5. Oh no, 0.15 perhaps. There we go. And the size is too big, so I need to shut that down to 8.5, like that. Set the back transparency to 1, just like that. And then inside of here we can add ourselves a UI list layout. And then what that does is it just basically creates a list inside of there where we can have our templates. And inside of here we can add our templates, and to make them we just need to add a text label. We'll set the size to 1,0,1,0. No, we don't want to do that, we want to do 0.1, sorry. Then we want to set back transparency to 1, we want to set it to scaled, we want to set the font to the same as what the other one was, which is Gotham black. And then we'll set X alignment to left. Yeah, that's fine. Yes, that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this to template, and then I'll set the name of this to template 2, just like that. Okay, so now that that's done, we can make our podiums. So I'm just going to angle this ever so slightly towards the spawn, just like that. And then I'm going to create our statues. So if I do call this leaderboard, oh whoops, we'll call it spelt correctly, and then I will add a part inside here, and I'm going to call this bronze, which can be our 3rd place. So we will find like a bronzy sort of colour. So we'll go here, we'll go with a 160,132,79, and I will make that square. Oops. just like this. Okay, and we'll make a 3x3, tell you what. We'll go with that. Maybe a little bit smaller. If you can't tell, I'm not a brilliant builder. There, that'll do. Then what we can do is we can duplicate that. We'll put one there. Yeah, we'll put one there. So we'll change this one to be golds. And I'll set the color of this to golds. There is a one called gold here. There it is. And I'll set this one to a silver. We'll go with that. And that one needs to be darker because it doesn't really look like bronze. There we go. There's our three. So we've got bronze, we have got silver, and we have got gold. So next thing we can do, if you go to plugins, you can see something here called build rig. Obviously yours won't look exactly like this because I've got specific plugins installed that suit my needs, but you will definitely have something there called build rig. It won't necessarily be here, but it'll be somewhere along there. Okay, so if you click, not Rojo, if you click on build rig, and this will pop up. Then what you want to click on is select whichever game type you are running, an R6 or an R15. If you're not sure, it will probably be R15. It's just in case you have changed it to R6. So once you've got your dummy, we are going to want to duplicate it 3 times, and we're going to want to put a dummy on each of the podiums, just like this. Okay. And then you are going to grab the dummy and place it inside of the part, just like that. Okie dokie. So next thing is we can actually start scripting. So if we put ourselves a script inside of ServScript service, and then we can just drag our template, which was, if you remember, oh, that wasn't even the template. We can drag our template into the script, so it looks like that, and we can close all this back on up. So we need to start scripting now. So the very first thing we're going to do is grab our data stores. So we'll do local data store service equals game : get service data store service, just like that. And then we'll do local money data store equals DSS : get ordered data store, and we'll call this money data. And the ordered data store is just like a normal data store, except it puts it in order of, well, how much money or points or whatever it is you've got, so we can return that. So we have our player added event here, and then we will create a folder, and we'll create a leader stats folder. So we'll create ourselves a folder. We'll set folder.parent equals PLR, and then folder.name equals leader stats, and then we'll do local money integer equals instance dot new integer value, and then money integer dot parent equals folder, and then money integer dot name equals money, just like that. And now we can retrieve our data. So we'll say player money data equals money data store : get async plr dot user id, because that can be our key. And then we'll say if player money data, I'll just copy that for easy. So if player money data, then money int dot value equals player money data, else. And then what you can do here is you can just enter how much money you, or whatever you're creating, how much you want the player to start with. So I'm just going to say 100 money. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we will do our player removing event, which basically saves the data. So we'll say game.players.player removing connect function, and that's our player removing event. And we can say local money amount equals plr.leaderstats.money.value, and then we'll say money data store set async plr.user.id. So again, that's our key, as you can see on line 13, comma money amount, just like that. The next thing we're going to do is we'll create a while true loop. We'll create a while true loop which shall basically loop through and do our leaderboard. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is at the very bottom, I'm going to put a wait 120, so it'll run every 2 minutes. If you want to update more frequently, then you can obviously decrease that, but you don't want to have it update every second because you'll overload the data store, which then you'll get capped. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is we're going to retrieve our pages. So we're going to go money data store get sorted async, and then we're going to say false comma 10 because we're going to have 10 on one page. Okay. And then we're going to say local data equals pages colon get current page, just like that. And then we're going to do a for loop which will essentially delete anything that's currently in the leaderboard, otherwise we will just keep adding to it. So we'll do workspace dot, what do we call it? We'll just call it folder. I'll change this to be leaderboard. So we'll say money.leaderboard dot well, it's leaderboard again dot surface GUI dot frame colon get children and that creates an array containing all of the children inside of the frame. And then we'll say if it is a text label, then we can destroy it, just like that. So the next thing to do is actually start looking through our data. So what we can do is we can say do another for loop, and this time we're going to loop through our data folder, just like that. Then we're going to create a clone of our template. So we'll say clone script.template clone, and then that basically duplicates it. And then we can start setting the properties. So we'll say clone.parent equals game.workspace.leaderboard.surface.gui.frame, and then we can say clone.name equals label, concatenate that with to string I, so we know which one it is. And then we can say clone.text equals this is what's actually going to be displayed on the leaderboard. So we'll do hashtag to string I dot dot, and then we'll do space dot dot just concatenate, remember that's what it means. And then we'll do a toString game.players colon get name from user ID async, which is our key, because remember we set our key just here as the user ID, so we can retrieve the name. And then we can concatenate that with a hyphen and 2 spaces, and concatenate that again with our value, which is the amount of money. Okay, so it's essentially going to say, I'll put a little comment underneath, it's essentially going to say hashtag, and then it's going to say number, and then it's going to say player name, and then it's and then it's going to say money amount, just like that, give or take anyway. Okay, so next thing it's going to do is we are going to say if toString, no, I'll show you at the end. So if it is equal to a string of 1, just like that, Then we can say clone dot text color 3 equals color 3 dot from RGB, and then we'll say 255 comma 183 comma 0, which makes that gold color. Okay, and then we can say local dummy equals game.workspace.leaderboard dot goals dot dummy, and then we'll say local appearance equals game.players colon get humanoid description from user ID, and then we'll say v.key again. Okay, and then with that appearance we can say dummy dot humanoid colon apply description, and then we can say appearance, and then we'll say dummy colon weight for child humanoid, and then we'll say dot display. And this is essentially just getting rid of the name so it doesn't say dummy. Display distance type equals enum dot humanoid display distance type dot none, and we'll just leave it at that, and we can say else if we can just copy and paste it. So now we can say if it is equal to 2, then set the color to 163, 162, 165. So that gives it that silvery color. I'm just gonna copy it over here so it's the exact same, just like that. And then we can say it's all going to be the exact same, except it's going to be changed to silver.dummy, just like that. Yes, and then we can do the exact same thing. We'll say else if it is equal to 3, then we're going to set it to the bronze color, which is this. We're going to set it to go to bronze.dummy, just like that. And I believe that should be it. So obviously you're going to have to publish it because you're going to have to use an API service. So we'll say money for video, we'll say money system for video, be a little bit more specific. We'll say create, give it a second, and then if you go back to game settings, we'll go back to security. You need to turn on API services, which is what allows you to use the data store service. So now if we play, see if we get any errors. No, we have not. So you can see there I've got 100 cash, and if I join back, yeah, it hasn't saved. Sometimes it doesn't save in Studio, so we'll just have to go into the actual Roblox game. So you can see there it is. So if I load into it, so you can see here I've got 100 cash. If I go into here, I'll say game.players.vios rob.money.leaderstats.money.value equals, we'll just say 900, just so it's different. I'm just going to copy that so we don't have to write it again, and then I will leave, I'll leave the game. I'll join straight back. Give it a second, you can see I've got 900. You can see I am number 1 on the leaderboard and it is gold, and I am the but I'm not on there because I forgot to anchor it. So if I go back into here, I need to exit out, and I anchor all three of these by just clicking the anchored property, go back into here, we will, whoopsies, we will remove that from our profile. Give it a second. We will shut down all servers. I will leave from that, and we can play it again. And you will see that has worked. There we go. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Once again, the source code is available in my Discord server, and I'll see you in the next one.